Yo, what is good, guys? As usual, an interesting day in the markets. I got a lot of stuff to show you in this video. We're going to be looking at oil, the dollar, Bitcoin, SPY of course, and then some of the holdings, Apple and Tesla, because I'm seeing big signals in those two, as well as we're just going to be taking a look at the micro and the macro. And there's a lot of big things that I have to show you, so I recommend watching through this whole thing. You're going to see why I'm saying that. And yeah, with all that being said, we're just going to get right into it. Make sure to show this video some love, give it a like and subscribe, and yeah, we're just going to get into it. So, to start off, this morning, you had some housing data. It really wasn't too significant, but tomorrow, you got some big things. You have retail sales, you're going to have Target earnings, and that's going to give you a reflection on kind of the consumer spending, how really the consumers are reacting to inflation, what they're doing with their money. And yeah, we're going to see how all that goes. That's going to be before open. And then you have the FOMC minutes, which you're going to see some volatility. As usual, every time you get something that has to do with the Fed meetings, you're going to see massive volatility. So I'm not sure how it'll go. We're getting close to that top, and as we prepare for that retrace, as we prepare for that new drop, the next drop, you're just going to see all these signals I'm going to show you and what to expect after this retrace. So you're going to be prepared really 2-3 steps ahead. So we're just going to work our way from left to right. We're going to start off with oil here. Oil, so it's been really messy lately, but I actually think it may have been a falling wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern. They are extremely consistent. It's by far the most consistent pattern I have ever seen, I've ever traded. It's incredible. And I'll show you how you measure it and stuff. Give you an example quick. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but this is how you do that count. Where we draw A, B, C, D, E, and then after that E touch, you test this trend line, you get that break, you fly. And the way you measure that breakout, there's a couple ways to do it. You can do it with fib retracements. We did that on SPY, especially if you've been watching my videos for the past 2 months. You'll know how I found my SPY target at 430. But yeah, you could get a decent move out of that, and I'm going to show you an example here. This is an example I used for the rising wedge on SPY right before CPI, before that dropped to 365. This is how you do that measurement. This is workday on a weekly scale. So this is something I was watching last year in the winter, I believe, and somewhere up here, and I'm like, this thing's gonna get annihilated. And what did you get? You got that measured move down to where it broke out, and very close to the bottom. So you can see that pattern is very consistent. And you can look around for yourself, you'll see it. So for the dollar, very big trend line here. This is really something you want to be paying attention to, because if you break this big trend line, the dollar has a ways to go to the downside, and as a result, that would give a lot of relief to the markets. So it doesn't make sense for it to drop right now. I guess there's a possibility that it does, but it does not make sense to yet. And yeah, this is just something you're going to want to be watching to see how it reacts with this trend line. If you start running again, the markets are going to fall, and that really kind of lines up with everything the whole market's seeing. And Bitcoin, another wedge, but this is a rising wedge. You put down your ABC, so that first touch point, A, B, C, D, E, or sometimes I did that wrong. So this is definitely a rising wedge, because it has somewhat of a. So I'll explain this. In a rising wedge or a falling wedge, you have one side that's much steeper, and the top or bottom is less steep, I guess, and that shows you declining momentum and it tightening up into an apex where it inevitably breaks out to the side that the divergences are pointing to. So I have not looked at the MACD or RSI, but I can probably guarantee there's a divergence. Yep, divergence. So, yeah, and I haven't looked at the RSI. You're just going to have to take my word for that. But, yeah, there's your divergence. So it's likely Bitcoin's going to break out of this to the downside. If you're in the Discord, since January I was saying I'm looking for 17,000. We got there, and then yesterday, actually, I said, I think it's time to take that profit if you're still in it. So that's how Bitcoin's going. Apple. This is something I noticed today. Someone in the Discord pointed out we're inside of this gap here. from April. So this is quite the spot to be watching. You know, maybe we get there, maybe we don't, but this is a very big incentive for Apple to make kind of that one last push, because this is not sustainable. Look at this. Think to yourself, is this really sustainable? No, it's not. It's been going parabolic. It doesn't even follow this trend line anymore. It's just been getting literally steeper and steeper. So this is all part of the short squeezing, the covering that's going on in really everything, because you know you had people shorting at the bottom, and that was the bottom, and it all unraveled. They just added to the fire. They were the fuel for this move. So Tesla, this is a big area. There's no liquidity in this region. You can see that. You know, you fly right through to the upside and the downside. So Tesla's gonna have a very difficult time getting through this. It doesn't really make sense for it to. And another possibility, this is a cup and handle here. You got your cup and the handle, and the way you can give a rough measurement is so you draw a line from the neckline here. This is the neckline to the bottom of the cup, and you put it to where the breakout is. Or if you want to be what's the word I'm looking for, conservative, you can do it from the bottom of the cup, but from the breakout, it does not make sense to do this, but it's a possibility. It's crazy, but that's what I see. So I have my doubts, but that would be quite the run. Yeah, so that's it for Tesla and SPY. So big things on SPY here. So we went over oil, the dollar, DXY, divergences. So okay, so first off, I'm going to go over what happened today. We went to a very important area to test liquidity. That was right here, this VPOC, or Virgin Point of Control, where you know, you test these regions a lot. You need to go to these areas to test liquidity. That's what I've been saying. We've made all of these areas that have not really been tested. We have to go to some of these at least. And you know, I'm looking for the low 400s on this retrace. We have to test these. We need to test liquidity, because you can't do this forever. You have to establish supports on the way up, and I'm going to show you the Elliott wave, so you can really see the development and how it's all playing out, and it'll make a lot of sense. So, and you have this rising wedge here, so you're getting close to the top of this trend line. It's not that far away, and at this rate, I mean, it can totally go up there. And I'm going to show you the fibs, so where the next levels are, but I believe I pointed it out in yesterday's video. But this is a region I'm looking at that we, you know, in yesterday's video, if I even put it in there, you have these areas of kind of congestion where there's consolidation, and you kind of have supply and demand zones that are kind of concentrated in these regions. So you can see when we got into this region, you had that consolidation, kind of building up for whatever the next move was. And this is, I think, the next big area. You closed 4 cents above this. This is the high of this region. You closed 4 cents above it, so that's very interesting. You know, there was a lot I put on the charts yesterday. We got above it, but we came back down. We tested that liquidity. We came back down. And I'm going to show you something on the macro scale, which is another interesting thing you will see. So that's it for that liquidity test that happened today. And you know, I have my list, so I'm just going over it. The retrace range, 200-day moving average on the daily. So we hit that today. I said we might hit that. We might test that in yesterday's video. Here we are. We tested it. So this is a primary for rejection. I'm going to keep saying that. You have that big trend line. I'm not sure if we're going to get there. That would be the perfect way to trap people by not getting all the way there. But people are probably going to want to see how it reacts with this. So you could see a spike through it. It's going to be very interesting to see how it reacts with that line, because, you know, if it stops here, then you have several ways to draw that line from where it's interacting with this. So I showed you that range in which I think it could get rejected from. It was something like this. So we were in that region now, and I'm going to show you. So you see, I pointed out that rising wedge. This is the big thing on the micro scale. I'm going to put that up. These fib channels, I clicked on this one. So this might look messy, might look confusing, but I'm going to break it down. And it's pretty simple. So first off, this was something I had in yesterday's video, or the video previously. We finally hit that target, and this is something I did not put up, but this is really the channel it's been respecting, and you know, it has everything to do with those Fibonacci ratios. So I'm going to zoom in so you really can see how significant it is. I do it from this channel, kind of connecting these tops here, and I'm just going to scroll through it so you can see it. You can see the interactions. It's fascinating. All the bounces, bouncing in between those ranges, and it does it the whole time. And today we're going to go even closer onto the 5 minute, and you can see really how it traded today. And yeah, this is today during the day. So it was really trading around this fib right here, both of these. So a lot of tests were happening today, kind of trying to build supports, but we're getting to that region, that area, that time frame where there's not a lot of strength left. So that's what I wanted to show you for those channels. We're going to go to the macro. Now this is the big thing that I found today, which I have not seen anywhere else. So this is something you're probably going to want to take note of, because I have not seen this anywhere. But there is a possible pattern of what's called an descending. Here, I'll show you the link to it. Yeah, right here. So descending broadening wedge. I'm gonna put the lines up. Give me a second here. So might be on this one actually. So I'll just draw it on my own. So you have descending tops and descending bottoms, but it gets wider as you go down, which I'll show you what I mean. So I drew it from here. I did it on the 2 week, so it was somewhat kind of hidden, but you'll see what I'm seeing once I put it down. So I think this is how I drew it. It might have been on logarithmic scale. Yeah, I think this is how I had it drawn. So I'm going to put these lines up, and then I'm going to explain to you what I'm seeing here. So I'm going to go back into the 1 week so I can see where that touch point was. And it was this one, I believe. So this has over 80% probability of playing out in the way that it should if this pattern continues to develop this way. So you can definitely see it's kind of hidden how this develops, but you can see the interaction with the trend lines here. And you know, maybe we topped today, maybe we didn't. I would be fine for more upside. I'm looking to get into those puts, September puts. We're getting to the top. I showed you the MACD, the RSI, on the daily and the 4 hour. You know, in these kind of environments, it's not as important on the shorter time frames, but you're seeing divergences all over the place. Wedges on oil, Bitcoin. You got the dollar on a big trend line here. You're overextended, and it's all lining up. So I'm going to show you what's in this, the importance of it. So the formation of a descending broadening wedge after a peak. We peaked, and this is 100% this pattern. So you know, it can be invalidated, but you can see 81% of these cases, pattern price objective is achieved when that resistance line is broken. So I don't think we're just going to blast through this, but the way it's saying it's measured, this is how you would measure it. So from wherever it breaks out, you know, we're going to get that retrace, but I can't grab this line. Okay, so let's just say it breaks out from here. You're looking at the 500s, and if you're in the Discord, I'm looking for 540 at that next level. If this is the low. So back in February, me and one of my friends in there, Cloudy, we were looking for 365, and after that, you get a big move up to 540, and that finishes a macro scale development of Elliott waves, and you get pretty much true oblivion. So either they finish this drop this year, or we are just going to have an even bigger one in the coming years. So this is that macro thing I wanted to show you. It's very interesting. I found it today, and it has significance. So this is something you want to be paying attention to. You know, you could come back and test this again before doing it, but something to keep in your mind. Just something that you know is there. So I'm going to show you the fib circles here. I believe it's on this chart. Yeah. So I've been showing you this. The past few days. This fib circle, not that one. This one. So, and I've explained to you the significance of kind of the rhythms and this symmetry of the markets. You can see the shifts from when you hit these lines, and you are very close to coming into this next run here. Let me go off extended hours, so make it a little smaller. You can see the shifts. Just look for yourself. You can see the shifts and what's happening. You're going into that next Fibonacci ring. So days away. You got the RSI and MACD. Really overextended to the daily. That's not SPY. This is SPY. So the daily RSI, it doesn't get this high this often. The MACD going crazy. Volume falling. It's not supporting this rally. Bond market is not supporting it. It's not buying into this rally either. The 4 hour, you have divergences. The 4 hour is crossing over. Maybe not yet on here. Yeah, so just divergences. Everything's lining up. I think if it doesn't start this week, it'll start next week. But I'm going to show you the Elliott wave, the fib, so you can see where we can stop, where we're going to drop to. And this is really important so you are aware of what's happening, why it's happening. I'm telling you, this next retrace will dictate the new lows, or if this is the bottom. So this is why I've been so fixated. I said it in yesterday's video. This is why I'm so fixated on this retrace, because if you break, I'm going to show you and explain to you. So you have 5 waves up, you get your retrace. So we're going to assume this is the top here. In development of 5 waves, they all have rules, and the 4th wave, let me just put everything up. So this is 5 waves. This is wave 1, 2, 3. Theoretically, if this is the bottom, you get your ABC. You retrace this. So the big move would look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Wave 4 has rules. It cannot go past 50% of wave 3, or breach the peak of wave 1. So you can give it some leeway in this region, but if you see it hanging out down here, just chilling out down here, this might not be the bottom. And I think it's likely you would go to that 290 to 333 range. But if it does hold up the low 400s, this is a very important area. You could get that next impulsive wave to the upside. Now the big thing, there's no volume here. This is really the big thing I'm watching. In an impulsive wave, you can have like no to very little volume at the beginning of it, and it comes in later, but it's not coming in. It's only been falling, and no one's buying this rally. Everyone thinks it's a bear market rally. There's kind of that clash between that's the bottom and it's a bear market rally, but you're gonna see the sentiment change soon. I'm telling you, it's coming. You're gonna see the sentiment change in the blink of an eye, and that happened today. We got quite the kind of a flash crash, not really, but that was quite the drop, and that happened very fast. And you could see the sentiment in the discourse. They were just kind of like, whoa, is this the top? It's happening. That shift was in minutes. So the next retrace, whenever it happens, this is the most important retrace of the year. There's no doubt about it, because if you don't hold this region, it's not 5 waves up, and that would mean this could possibly be an ABC. Now, it's starting to look a little awkward. You know, it's invalidating a lot of rules that would point to this being an ABC, but this is an ABC. You got more room to go down. And let me put up those fibs I had up yesterday. So you were really battling against this today. I don't know if I drew it perfectly. I did not. But you did not close. Yeah, you closed above it, but give it one more day. You know, if it doesn't close above it, you could be moving up to that next one. And I don't think it would be an ABC, so that's not the way you would draw this. You draw it from here, but it's overextended. It cannot go much higher at this rate. Maybe 440. That's pretty much the top of this wave, but yeah, you get in the next retrace, low 400s. I'm telling you, if it doesn't hold up in that region, new lows are definitely in the picture. So And you know that does go against the statistics. In every bear market has ended when it went over that 60 or the 50% from the high to the low. So that's a statistic that's been kind of getting passed around, that indicates 100%. Every time it's happened, the bear market's ended. So you over that, might mean it's over, but you never know. We could break that pattern. So it's very interesting. It's really been a few interesting weeks, and it's going to continue to be once this retrace happens. So I'm waiting on that. I'm really looking to get puts this week. I've been in shares for the past few weeks, and now I'm looking for those puts for September, once we start seeing that retrace happen. So tomorrow, you're going to expect volatility. I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just waiting on that retrace whenever that's coming. So I showed you everything you need to know on the micro and the macro scale. Yeah, that's all I have. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you watch this whole thing through, make sure to show it some love, give it a like and subscribe so you always know what's coming next. And make sure to join the Discord. That's going to be in the description. And yeah, peace out, guys.